Ooh, so, all right, it is the day before the fight. Ben Askren, Jake Paul. Today is supposed to be weigh-ins, but they had the open workouts. That's what we're here to react to. Ben Askren's new found boxing skill. And then Jake Paul, open workout, his stretching, acro yoga. Interesting, but here's my opinion on it. Let's get right to it. Here we go. Ben Askren looking like a young Muhammad Ali. Oh, footwork. That is the part that I like the most. Footwork. We didn't see a lot of that. We saw a lot of just walking forward on the sparring and stuff like that. Again, this is mitts, but you see him sitting down in his punches. His chin is dropping. Punching a little bit harder. The thing is, when you watch the old footage of him, you know, hitting the back, it didn't look like he was hitting hard. It didn't look like he was trying to hit hard, I should say. And then even right here, he looks pretty smooth. He doesn't look like he's trying to, like, you know, blast the mitts. He just looks like he's punching pretty sharp, trying to stay loose. He's not showing any of the power. It's not like he's trying to hit hard and they're just kind of like folded on the pad. So there's potential there that we haven't seen. I like that a lot. That little jab cross hook and then bounce back. Seeing him on his toes, seeing him loose, sitting down. He looks very fluid here. He hasn't looked as fluid with striking. He hasn't, you know, because striking is not his thing. But this is the first time I think he looked a little fluid. Right here, it looks a little awkward, like the way he uppercuts like that. Mainly because there's no head movement. When you see boxers, there's a lot of head movement going on. Sidestepping, lateral movement, not just forward back. Here you see a lot of just forward and back punching, and his head staying on the center line the entire time. So that was a nice right hand. See that right there? That's a hard punch. You know, and he can punch in short spots too. So that's what's gonna be a big difference here, I think, with Jake. But overall, it's just there's not a lot of head movement, right? And I think if it's not his thing, maybe he hasn't focused too much on it because he's not gonna try to become a boxer in this short period of time. So that's why I get the vibe that he's just, you know, working on these simple things, not overtraining in the sense of trying to do too much if he knows he's not going to master a new skill. And he admitted in one of the things, he's like, I'm not a great boxer, but Jake, I just don't think you are either. So I think he's just trying to build on his strengths. But I do like this a lot better. Again, this is the thing. We haven't seen a lot of defense, right? Only defense we've seen is just covering, right, and then trying to clinch, reaching forward. So, but if he boxes like this, I think it's going to be better for him, which means he's going to fight with his feet and his footwork instead of trying to fight with his hands in terms of clinch work, right? Wrestlers tend to close the distance with their hands and try to get a hold of you, right? Then they're working pummels and clinches and stuff like that, trying to get a hold of you. Whereas in boxing, you don't want to be connected to your partner like that. You don't want to have clinches or hooks. You know, you want your elbows in, your hands in, so you can be disconnected even from a close distance, so you can let off powerful shots. It's going to be interesting to see how he fights. You know, we're seeing how he trains. It's going to be interesting to see how he fights if he, you know, keeps the footwork and the distance measurement. That's the thing that I think is going to be underestimated about Ben. One of the biggest things about fighting is distance management, and like if you versus a boxer or a kickboxer or striking, right? Any type of striking art, the better the fighter is, the better they are at distance management. Some people just know that distance and it can stay right on the outside, it can shuffle in and out, and can manage that with feints and those little nuances of the game. That's something that Ben has. He's a fighter, so he understands feints and distance and footwork and all those things. I just don't know if his instincts are going to be great for when things go into, you know, dark waters or they go in deep waters. If he has trouble, if he gets caught or something like that. Looked very smooth. A little jab, bounce back jab. Looks very relaxed. He's not missing a step. Looks very grounded. This actually, I mean, I'm not surprised to see it from him, but it's because we haven't seen it yet. It makes a big difference. He looks very smooth. I don't know what else to say. He looks very smooth here. How long has this been? You know, we're what, 4 minutes in here, and he hasn't stopped, right? Okay, this is a little duck under, right to clinch, and then they're messing around talking about this is what I can do to him and mess with him and stuff like that. He might go for that, you know, depending on the fight as a mess around. I don't know. He just looks super comfortable. Again, we're 4 or 5 minutes in. I don't even know if he's broken a sweat yet, so it's not like he's punching really hard, you know? Does he have this kind of power is my question. What if he decided to just throw a right cross as hard as he can? You know, we haven't seen that. So I don't know. I don't know what that's like. And I think maybe that's a part of his strategy. Fight with efficiency and be efficient with his energy. But all this type of like head movement and this type of like work here is something we haven't seen. And that's what we're all worried about. And this is causing me just to lean a little bit more towards Ben, just because, you know, we were thought he was so bad with striking. Again, his experience, people, you cannot underestimate his experience, right? His experience in fighting is very high. A champion. Jake's last 3 fights, it's like he's gone out there with somebody who has more experience. He feels more comfortable in the ring than the other person. Jake may feel that way because it's boxing, but fighting, that aura is gonna be a part of it. And I don't know, Jake has been training real hard, so he may be confident in his own right, as he should be. I mean, it may not affect him, but that's what I'm interested to see. For me personally, I'm interested to see how he deals with stepping up against a guy like this. This is really making it hard for me to decide here. Jake Paul, open workout. All right, got Jake doing some acro yoga. Can't hate against that. Love yoga. He seems to be sweating more than Ben already. Not sure what that means. It just shows to me that Jake ain't trying to prove anything. He's not trying to like smash the pads and show off and be like, yeah, look at me, you know, in terms of like trying to show Ben or the world that look how hard he hits in his boxing skill. He has no care in the world. The fact that he's this relaxed and he's just, you know, I'm gonna go do some yoga, get a massage and stretch here. To me, is a good sign for Jake. Okay, it's a good sign for Jake because he's super relaxed. He's just focused on what he's doing. He's not, you know, the lights and the moment, and he's out there trying to, you know, look good as a boxer and all those things and try to prove it to everyone. He's out here doing acro yoga and stretching and getting relaxed and focusing on his thing. So that to me is a good sign for Jake in terms of, because the nerves and staying relaxed is going to be important, because Ben is going to be cold-faced Ben, relaxed, laid back dude. Even when you punch him in the face, his nose will be broken. He'll probably just give you the same look and keep moving, right? So Jake is gonna have to keep himself composed as much as possible, because he's gonna have that snappy, you know, boxing energy, which could fatigue him out. Again, no matter how much cardio you have, it's about percentage, right? So if let's say you and I, we're gonna be fighting. If my stamina is this much better than yours, right? But you only use 50% of your energy in the first 2 rounds, but I use 100%. I'm still gonna be gassed because I used 100% of my energy, even though I'm in better shape, right? So it's about how efficient you are with your energy is very important. There's another MMA fighter, a UFC legend, Dan Henderson, talked about how he was so efficient with his energy, so even if his cardio wasn't great, he wouldn't get tired because he just made sure he was efficient with how he moved and how much energy he put out during the fight, and try to find places to stay relaxed and stay composed, so you don't use a maximum percent of your energy. Because even, again, if you have great cardio, if you use 100% of your energy, you're gonna get tired, right? Especially that explosive, fast twitch energy. So look at Jake, super relaxed, acro yoga it up. All right, final prediction, here we go. I have to go with Ben Askren, and I gotta go with a very slight lean towards Ben. If I had money I was gonna put on it, if I had to put some money on it, I would go with Ben. Just because I'm not sure how Jake is gonna handle adversity. That to me is the biggest answer. Like, okay, Nate Robinson and Jake. I knew Jake was gonna handle adversity better. Nate Robinson and Gibb. I felt like Jake was gonna handle the adversity better because he's stronger and he feels less threatened, right? So we haven't seen Jake be really threatened yet in the ring. And Ben, his whole stinking career has been threatened, and he's handled it, being cracked and all that stuff, and being punched and hit. He's handled it very well, right? We know how he handles adversity. So with just that huge question mark, I feel like I have to lean towards Ben, because when it comes to a fight, when somebody who has a chin, who has good footwork, who has experience, if Jake can't put him out, you know, can he outclass him, and can he handle the adversity of Ben handling the shots and then giving him back shots? And also Jake being hurt. We haven't even seen him be tagged in this fight. We saw the bloody nose, but really be tagged, and how he's going to handle that with his adrenaline. Will he panic a little bit? To me, there's just so many questions there, and I feel like my questions were answered mostly with Ben in terms of like his footwork, and I feel like that's enough. If he can do that and not just reach and clinch and you know, get caught moving in like that, you know, and totally abandon that, I think he has enough combined with his experience to win this fight, you know, with his experience. So my money's on Ben Askren, but not a lot. Okay, this is about as even as it can get for me. Very interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments. But yeah, weigh-ins will be interesting, because Jake is looking huge, dude. I don't understand. Like, he's got his face he looks just way stronger than before. Let me know what you think. Leave a like and subscribe. Oos.